Blog Talk Radio.
Greetings and salutations, hempsters. This is your hemp-entrepreneurial host, Tyler Hemp with Hempire Radio, here to empower your hemposphere and focus on what's most important to you. If you'd like to listen to any past hemp episodes, including today's show, which is entitled Building a Sustainable Hempire, One Home at a Time, with Sergiy Kovalenkov. And forgive me if I murdered his name, but he's an amazing gentleman, and I really look forward to introducing him to you. But before we get started, ever since I came into the world of hemp, it's been my mission, my vision, and purpose to help bring food, shelter, clothing, and literally thousands of amazing products that can be made from hemp and integrated into your lifestyle, into your work, into your home. And today I'm just so inspired and thankful to see my dreams coming true when it comes to hemp homes being built around the world. And not only is this movement picking up momentum, but the people that are involved in making it all hempen are amazing individuals with the biggest hearts and most powerful minds, and their visions are unceasing, constantly being improved and upgraded. And it's an honor and a privilege to have my new friend Sergiy on the line. And on today's show, he's the creator of the internationally recognized company called Hempire, and he's been helping families and companies build hemp structures in the Ukraine, Russia, and he's visited Colorado doing some educational stuff and going to Canada soon. And so, like I said, it's an honor and a privilege to have him on today's show to empower your hemposphere because home is where the hemp is. So welcome, Sergiy. Thanks so much for being on today's show.
Hello, Tyler. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So, before we get into the benefits and the value and how amazing the Hempire hemp-lime mix that you guys have developed, what inspired you to start Hempire? And tell us a little bit more about your background.
Yes. Well, I've been studying civil engineering in Canada before, and I was working in traditional construction company after graduation, and I had no idea that we should and we must use biodegradable, natural, organic materials in construction. I was just a regular Joe, and I never thought about it. I never really put a thought to it. I was just doing my job, and I couldn't care less whether it was mineral wool or hemp and lime that we should use. And ever since I got introduced to this technology, my mind has shifted, and therefore it had changed completely. This transformation helped me as an individual to understand how things work all together in a universe, and I realized that we have to start caring about our next generation, and we are the ones responsible how our children will live on this planet. And if we leave a bunch of concrete buildings after us, then and chop all the trees down, then our children will have nothing left to enjoy on this planet. So we have to really start caring where our children will live, and that is really important. That's what has inspired me to come back to Ukraine and start off this company.
Right on. Well, that's a beautiful answer, and it sounds like you really had a shift in consciousness. You had a shift in perspective, and that's you saw the devastation and the unhealthy application of building materials around the world. And you mentioned you studied in Canada, so you've seen modern stuff, and obviously Ukraine, they're doing like sardine boxes built on top of each other, and just the most horrible materials. And you've shared some really profound insights with me, as far as the laws that you guys as a company are operating by, and the principles that your company is founded on. Will you share with us those 4 founding principles and talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. Well, one of the most important principles, and the first one, of course, is you always have to be in harmony with nature. That is an absolute must if you're doing something in construction and if you're doing something for the people. If you're talking about residential construction, uh, that's where people spend most of their lives in their houses. And well, according to statistics, some people don't spend half of their life in
Right.
their house, but most of
The
us do.
majority do.
And yeah, majority do. Yeah, and we always have to respect the nature. We are here because of this nature. We can breathe this air. We can go into parks. We can swim in the lakes. Imagine all this is out of our out of our lives. We will no longer be enjoying anything. And of course, one of the other principles, yeah, when you are bringing in new materials, new technologies into the world, you always have to, especially in construction industry, we always have to look back and see how our fathers, grandfathers, and ancestors used to build, because Roman structures, they still stand after centuries. Some houses built out of natural materials, they still stand after 80, 100 years. Great examples in Ukraine with clay and mud, and then good examples in USA. If you with straw bale housing, there are houses that are 80 years old in USA, built out of straw bale. They're still standing. And the materials we use right now, these technologies, the modern technologies, they just devastating to our ecology, of course. And that's another principle that we have. We always have to work through love to humanity and our planet. We never forget about our planet. It is crucial. And of course, the last law is, the comfort and well-being of human beings are far more important parameters than technical values obtained in laboratory environment. And most of the companies that produce insulation and construction materials, they always, trying to show off their technical parameters, thermal conductivity values, etc. But what about us? You're building structures and you're creating materials for human beings. That's where they're supposed to live. So comfort and health. Those are the parameters we should be looking at. Not like how fast or how warm it is, and how comfortable it is for human beings. If it's all toxic and full of chemicals, this house, then it's simply not. It's not good for the residents. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're talking about comfort on a cellular level, and so these principles of working in harmony with nature and recognizing the environment and using sustainable, earth-friendly, non-toxic materials, and honoring the environment is your second principle. And then your third, which you had mentioned, is thoughts and consciousness, and really seeing from a different perspective. Tell us a little bit more about that principle and how that affects your company.
Well, it's we always try. When we have started initially, we thought right away, it has to be all natural. Our material has to be 100% natural. No cement, no. Sand is the natural material, or like hydraulic lime. It's a bit different, but we don't use any of that. We don't use any cement. We don't use any hydraulic lime. We don't use any sand, any chemicals, any toxic components, all that can work as a binder. We thought if we start off wrong, then we will be just swaying off and become just a regular company out there that uses all these tricks to fool people. So we decided boom, this is the principle. It has to be 100% natural. It has to work, and it has to be natural. It has to be good for human beings. It has to be good for the planet. Our thoughts were on that, and ever since day one, we are following this principle. It is very, very important. It is very important for human beings and our planet, and we always have to remember that.
Absolutely. So with that said, obviously hemp is the foundational material that you're utilizing for your hemp-lime mix. And you had mentioned that Hempire is coming out with this amazing mix that you're going to be sharing with other builders, other companies. Hopefully this mix will be able to be available in local hardware stores and building stores around the world. You had mentioned it's such a lightweight material, such a versatile material that you can actually build new walls with it. You can alter or fix existing walls. You can, put it over stone walls. You can put it over brick walls. You can put it over concrete. You can make roofs with it, floors with it. I mean, this stuff is so diverse. Tell us why, and tell us, maybe some of the limitations that this stuff has, since there is so much abundance and so many ways to use it. Talk about, a little bit about the limitations of working with this material, and these different applications.
Okay. Yes. Well, it is pretty light. I have to say, it's light. Low density material, so the foundations that you design for it, they don't have to be big ones. They don't have to be over designed. So it's pretty light material. It's around 260 to 170 kilograms per cubic meter. I know in America you use different units, but just keep to
Just go to Google.
Well, yeah, just go to Google. We always have problems with that. Yeah, and. This material, it's absolutely, it is incredible. Yeah, you can insulate any surface with it. Absolutely anything you want, we can do it. Even if it's a concrete wall, if it's a brick, a stone wall, if it's an existing wood frame house. We could renovate it with this material. Attics, roofs, basements, floors, space in between the floors, absolutely anything. So while it's so universal to use, and it is such a versatile material out of just natural components, just showing you that you don't have to use the traditional stuff that is being sold in your stores and being given by your architect. One thing I want to emphasize: your architect doesn't decide in which house you must live. You're the one who's supposed to decide, and that's your right, constitutional right. If you don't want to live in a house full of toxic materials, you have to stand your ground, of course. And
absolutely,
there are of course there are some limitations to that. Yeah, for example, if the temperature drops below 5 degrees Celsius, you don't want to be doing that. You simply will not have enough time for material to dry up before the cold coming in. It wouldn't be the issue in the warm U.S. states, like Florida or California, but that could be an issue, on the East Coast, where you have, like Pennsylvania, all this cold, anything up there, up north. It could be dangerous to use this material when the fall comes in. And of course, the moisture would be trapped inside the walls. It wouldn't have enough time to dry up, and then it starts freezing. Then it's the frost comes in, and then you're talking about many problems starting to occur later on.
So does that mean only building during the summer and only like spring and summertime, or does that mean those areas of the world cannot ever use hemp material, this hemp-lime?
No. You can. You just have to see what you have to you have to be very subjective. Depends on the project really. If you can simulate, if you can warm up the place. For example, one project we did with the yoga studio, as I showed you before, the client wanted to do it in winter, and we didn't have any chance, absolutely no chance. You usually, of course, want to put your installation, any architect or engineer will tell you it has to be outside. Insulation has to be installed outside the structure, so to work better. But in this case, we had to work from inside, and we had heaters turned on. We did it in January, in February, and it turned out great. Because the client could supply us with all the heaters and everything, so we raised the temperature a bit. So we weren't working in a frost environment. Yeah. So just if you're building a house from scratch, ideally, of course, you want to start in spring, summer, so there's enough time for the sun to really heat it up, the structure, and it hardens by absorbing CO2 from the atmosphere, and it becomes like a light stone eventually. But you just have to give it a bit of time, So.
Yeah, so it petrifies over time, and it pulls CO2 out of the air, so it's actually beneficial to our environment. You had also mentioned, because of the alkalinity of the material, that it actually produces an alkaline environment, which is ideal for cells to thrive in and to be healthy in. So not only is it all non-toxic and all user-friendly, it's really easy to work with, right? I mean, you don't need a bunch of power tools and hammers and nails. It's just like water and some hemp and some other stuff, and you mix it together and start pouring it. Is that right, or is it pretty technical?
Well, it is the process itself. We have designed it so any person in the world can really do that, and that's our goal, to just supply a person with materials, and eventually he can do it himself with his friends and his buddies. That all you need is just like one foreman on site that knows the process from A to Z, really, just to direct people on site. But it could be students,
right.
It can be people with no technical background. It is great. Yeah, you just have to set up a formwork depending on what you have to do, and you just you mix it within 1 or 2 minutes, and boom, it's out. You can apply it already right away. And what's cool about it, that for example, if you're erecting a wall, you set up your formwork, you pour this material in, you compact it a bit, and then you can remove your formwork within 5 minutes. You don't have to wait for a day or two until it hardens, and then you wait. Here you don't wait at all. You keep going, layer by layers. You kind of like apply it by like 5 to 10 centimeters a layer around your wall, and you just remove formwork almost instantly. That's what's great about it.
Very cool. Awesome. So it would be wise to have an educated kind of architect or somebody, obviously contractor, on site and governing the whole process. But ultimately, it's just people that anybody that has some muscles and can pour some materials and mix it up and like you said, pour it and let it set and keep going. I mean, there's so much we could cover. We only have about 10 minutes left on the show, and where are some of the places that you're going to be for 2016 that our listeners might be able to find you or get hemp-educated by you further?
Well, we'll be in Poland for sure. We'll be in US hopefully this year. I'll just have to be. I'll be posting some stuff on the Facebook page of Hempire. So just please. If you want to follow us, you just have to go on Facebook and find Hempire company, building and construction. And we'll be doing projects in Ukraine, Poland, USA. We have received a request from Czech Republic, and maybe we'll do a little bit of consulting work in France this summer. So We are all over the place. There are some people mentioned to us that they need our help in South America and Central America. So it's just really starting. People starting to wake up, and I'm really happy to see that. So we're going to be, helping people all around the world. And the geography doesn't matter. The system can be used in any type of climate, in any environment. So that's what's beautiful about it.
Well, I'm on a mission to help bring your hemp homes to the people, and as I mentioned, I've had this vision for over 10 years of manifesting an amazing piece of property close to nature and having a beautiful, sacred, geometrical home with crystals embedded into the, walls and vortexing pipes, feeding spring water into the home, and just completely, fully custom tailored and custom built to all my specifications. And now, not only myself, but all my friends and family and the people that I'm working with, we all get to experience it together. And so it's a really exciting time to be alive and to be able to experience healthy homes once again like our ancestors used to have. And so let's talk a little bit more about, the antibacterial, resistant to molds, resistant to fungus and rodents. Tell us a little bit more about how amazing hemp is and why it's so important for people to start saving up their money or investing in building with hemp.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have mentioned about pests and rodents and antibacterial properties of this material. What is important to know is that we are using really alkaline lime here, and we know that all the bacteria, all the fungus, they evolve only in acidic environment, and that's the first indication that you have a problem with your air. If you start getting fungus on your walls, right away you're breathing in a terrible air with bad quality. You cannot be, living in an environment with acidic properties. It is really detrimental to your health. So lime that we use, it actually, by a process of carbonization, it actually ionizes your air. It cleans your air, bringing the pH of this moisture inside this air higher, closer to the neutral line. I know I give all this technical chemical stuff that you used to study in high school, but it's really, really important for people to understand. It has to be a pH neutral for us to live in a very comfortable environment. So by using highly alkaline lime, we get rid of fungus. There's absolutely no way this thing can get in there because we have air permeable walls with so much lime in it, so you'll never have a problem with that. And of course, pests and rodents, they don't like lime as well, so we solving that problem right away. They cannot get into our wall. They simply don't like lime. It's a non-flammable structure. If people start thinking, oh my God, it's going to get on fire, no way. You try to set something on fire with high content of lime in it, good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a very important aspect, of course, of our wall system, why people should save money and use this system, it is its ability to regulate humidity inside the building. That's the most amazing thing about it. That's its biggest advantage. Hemp and lime wall can regulate humidity. So if you have excessive amount of humidity, if your wife, daughter, or yourself are cooking something in the kitchen, humidity raises, and this wall sucks in this humidity and releasing it over time very slowly, maybe back into the room, or usually it goes outside because it's an air permeable wall. So you don't have to use any of this hydro air vapor barriers, membranes. I know they are in the building code, but you don't have to, because you're using these membranes because the regular insulation materials, they're afraid of moisture. Our product is not afraid of moisture whatsoever, and this is crucial to regulate relative humidity inside your house, inside your environment. So, the world breathes in and out, the air travels, the moisture travels, and, to have a proper, healthy environment. And, you are cold and hot not because it's high temperature or low temperature outside. You feel uncomfortable because of high humidity inside the room. And this wall is able to regulate it and bringing it at around 55%, the most comfortable level for human beings to be living in. So that's what's crucial. So you're going to be saving a lot of money on air conditioning the place in the summer or heating it in the winter, because your relative humidity is going to be a flat line, no matter what are the fluctuations of it outside.
Right.
And as I showed you before, it does an amazing stuff with relative humidity. So it basically, and it also has a high thermal capacity, so it's able to store heat. Our modern technology insulation materials, they're not able to store heat. They're just there to be they're designed to block the cold air coming in or hot air coming in, but they don't have any thermal capacity. This one has a high level of thermal capacity, so it works like a big stove eventually in the winter time. So we're talking about big savings right there. This house will be working for you, and over a course of like 10 years, for example, 15 years, you're going to get all your money back. It is incredible, saved up.
Absolutely. And contributing to cleaning up the environment by, pulling the CO2 out of the air. I mean, your house it's a carbon negative structure. So you're not only benefiting your own health, your own pockets, your bank is going to benefit from it, your family, your every aspect of your life obviously is going to be improved. But we just have 3 minutes left. I mean, we could go on for hours and hours. Obviously, I know you're extremely passionate, Sergiy, about hemp and about the planet and about doing something powerful while you're here on this planet for such a short time that we are here. So we're doing our absolute best to stick to the vision and manifest it, essentially bring heaven on earth and using hemp as our vehicle to do that. And with that said, with just the 2 minutes we have left, what is your vision for Hempire for the next 5 to 10 years? How do you see it playing out in the world?
Well, of course, we want to spread the word all around our planet that this technology does exist. There are companies that doing similar things to us, and thank God they do exist. I'm not against competition or anything else. Whoever does use hemp is a great person, and we can really save so many trees with hemp. It grows in 4 months, and a tree, it grows in 40 years. So by using this material inside our house to be building out of this material, it is absolutely incredible. And as a Hempire, we are thinking, of course, of expanding due to our name. We are hopefully will be expanding all around the world. I'm going to be giving lectures in different places. I've been invited to speak in different countries now. I'm really glad to get this recognition, and since it's carbon negative material, I think the tendency in the world is that we should be looking at these technologies like that more and more. And of course, we are planning to be working in many countries in the world. We're going to be distributing our materials and our binders all around the world. We will be sharing technology. We'll be organizing practical seminars, so more and more people will realize how cool it is. If you don't try it with your own hands, you don't really have an idea how good the things are and how good the technology is. But that's why I'm inviting people to come over to our seminars, lectures, practical seminars to learn more about it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We're out of time now, but it's an honor and a privilege to have connected. I really look forward to building a hemp house with you someday and connecting you with, anybody that I know that can help bring the Hempire to fruition and spread it around the planet. So thanks so much for tuning in with us, everybody, and thank you, Sergiy from Hempire, for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tyler, for having me. It's an honor. Thank you.
Cheers.